Hi, I'm Michael Biehn. I'm following the nerd. Come with me if you want to watch.
Hi everyone, I'm Marc. I'm here at W5 in Belfast for Following the Nerd. Now, I don't get nervous, I'm not nervous, but if I were to get nervous, I would be interviewing the likes of Mr. Michael Biehn and his beautiful lady, Jennifer Blanc Biehn. Hi guys, how are you?
Good?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
I'm glad you're not nervous.
No, I'm good. If I black out or anything at any point, throw some water on me. Firstly, how are you finding Belfast?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
The weather's beautiful and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous city.
Yeah, you've been very lucky with the weather actually. It's
Yeah,
been really good.
that's what we've heard, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for taking
It's a
it.
beautiful city.
It's very, really attractive city.
Yeah.
But we noticed it from the first,
Yeah.
And
First
the
arrival.
people are very friendly and it's just, it's been a really good experience for us.
Great. Tell us a little bit about the origins of the victim, how it came about, why he's decided to make it the victim.
Well, really, it kind of comes to, I worked with Robert Rodriguez and did the movie Grindhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't really realize, people were making movies on such low budgets.
Yeah.
I just really had never really paid attention to them before. And Jim Cameron, has always said to me, you should direct something, you should direct something. And he actually said about Robert, Jim said about Robert Rodriguez, he said one of the things that's brilliant about Robert is that he just does it. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He just, doesn't care if he just does it, and he's been doing it. And I was doing a movie called The Divide, and with Xavier Jones, and I saw a kid reading Rebel Without a Crew, which is Robert Rodriguez's book, and I had read it before, and Jennifer was with me, and I thought, you know what, it might be fun after we finish this movie just to go see if we can raise a really small amount of money just on my name alone, and see if we can make a little Grindhouse movie, a little exploitation movie. So I asked her if she could see if she could find some money for us, and she did. And there was a script that I had read a year or two previously that...
They initially wanted us to do this script, but it was a lot of work, and it was a novella, and the money wasn't there. And so we had this in the back of our minds.
Yeah, it needed a lot of work. It was kind of a page one rewrite. But we kind of took the Robert Rodriguez approach and said, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, we literally just, everyone was going like, well, what about this? What about that? And we were just like, we're going to do it. Just keep going forward. We're shooting in 4 days, and you don't have a final script. Just come on, keep going.
Yeah, we really from the beginning of the time that we decided we were going to, that we knew that the money was good and real, until the time we finished the movie was 5 weeks. So we had 3 weeks of pre-production, and during that 3 weeks I wrote the script. And usually you have a script when you're in pre-production. We didn't have a script, but everybody just kind of followed me around. And I said, everybody just kind of followed me around. And I said, we're going to need this and that. And Jennifer took care of, some of the casting and the Screen Actors Guild. And
amazing at getting a crew for the prices we needed.
And we crewed up, and we just did that all in 3 weeks, and then we rolled into what was a 12-day shoot, and we got it done, and I didn't even finish writing the script until the day we started shooting, and so we started off with the very first scene that we shot in the movie is Jennifer and I's love scene that we had in the film. And basically the reason we shot that first because I still was, writing the script and hadn't given it out to the crew yet. So it's really kind of just a little exploitation movie. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't. I was thinking exploitation. What can we exploit? I didn't have enough money for visual effects. I didn't have enough money for special effects, for zombies and things like that. And, no money for cars, and hardly any money for anything. So we just decided on sex and her and her friend Danielle Harris. We've got plenty of sex in the movie, so that's and then
we're not all covered up the way we are now. We're really not.
And then we did a little bit of cops and dirty cops and drugs and a little bit of violence, a little bit of torture, a little bit of action, and then I threw in a serial killer, and I thought, okay, well, that's like everything that I could exploit that didn't cost any money. You know?
It was like a checklist.
Yeah,
I always tell them that when we do a sequel, I'm going to cost a lot more money to get exploited.
So tell me about how was it filming together? For example, filming a sex scene. Would you rather film it as a couple, or is it better doing it with strangers? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think that anytime that you do a film, a sex scene on with a crew around, it's usually pretty procedural.
Yeah.
I guess you would say, because
You both done together.
You have to I move this way, move that way. All right, let's see your breast.
Yeah, we want to make you look as good as possible in the light, and he's holding me one way, and it's like it looks really natural, but you're like stuck.
It's very technical. It's very non-sexual, really.
Yeah.
And it's very technical, and it's like 20 people standing around with booms and cameras and
trying to act like this is normal.
Yeah. It's.
But when he came out and disrobed, his niece was working. His niece was working on the show as a makeup artist.
All my relatives were working.
Yeah, everybody mixed together. We had friends and family.
Her mother and
like location scouting for us and loaning cars. But she hadn't been on a set before. Now she's kind of getting used to it. She's working on a bunch of sets. She moved to LA. But she was standing right in front of the monitor, and he just disrobed and didn't realize that he was standing right in front of the camera. But the camera was down here, and so she just flew back about 40 feet, and we didn't see her for about a day. She was just, and she won't discuss it.
She's waiting to see a psychiatrist.
But we, like I said, Jennifer's mother was helped us out, and our father-in-law, and my niece, and you'll notice
was on the set.
In our credits in our movie, we instead of just putting the names down for the credits, we show everybody. We show pictures and film.
But they were doing 5 jobs.
Yeah, and you'll see everybody's got 3 or 4 jobs that they're doing. So it's
except for the sound and electronic department, they managed to keep themselves with one job because they're like unions and
they're
stuff.
Real labor love.
Yeah.
If you were to sell the movie, if you wanted to get people to go to see the movie and you had to tell them one thing, how would you go about that? How would you sell the movie to the audience?
Well, it's I describe it as what we say in the United States is cotton candy. Over here, I think they call it candy floss. It's fun.
Again, a whole other.
And it's something that you can go to enjoy, not have to think about it. You kind of put your worries away for 80 minutes and not think about your worries and just kind of enjoy the story.
It's like see the victim to forget your problems.
Yeah, and it's just it's a very easy watch, and it's a lot of fun, and it's I'm just telling you, everybody enjoys it, and it's funny because I was thinking, when we were making it, that older people in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on and so forth, it's kind of crazy because there's so much sex involved and so on and so forth. But it turns out, people in their 60s. They were the people that were in the 60s,
and not only people in their 60s, his 91-year-old aunt has seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that says about your Aunt Jean, but
everybody just seems to enjoy it. It's just a fun little. It's nothing that you have to think about or take too seriously. It's just wow, this is a lot of fun, and you just kind of go and have fun, and it's like a carnival ride or something like that.
Now, Michael, you've worked with James Cameron, and I like the fact that to you it's just Jim. You filmed Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, and one of my favourite westerns, Tombstone, which I actually watched a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking I'm going to interview that guy. But how does it feel to be part of that legacy? We talked to you about this yesterday, where people come up to you and they say, "Oh, Terminator's my all-time favourite movie," or "Aliens is the movie that defined who I am," or how does it feel to be that guy?
Well, walk around thinking about it very much, but I am surprised now, and it's just kind of, I'm starting to realize, and I've started to realize in the last couple of years, that Aliens, The Terminator, and Tombstone are 3 movies that have kind of jumped generations. Mm-hmm. And so I had a young girl and her boyfriend that came up 21 yesterday, and but it happens all the time. But she came up and she said, Kyle Reese is my favorite character of all time. And I just I looked at her and I said, when we made that movie, you hadn't been born yet. And it's just. It's kind of interesting. It's fun, that I've been involved in these movies. But other than that, it's I like to look forward. I like to look. I mean, that is so far removed, from where I am now. And I mean, that was 25 years ago. That's a long time ago. All of those Aliens and Tombstone, 15 years ago or whatever. Now I'm, it's much more focused now on the victim, and I've got another movie that's coming out this year called The Divide, which is kind of a performance-driven piece with a lot of good people that Xavier Gens directed. So I kind of look forward and let all that stuff just,
But his fandom or iconic status that he's just kind of starting to realize he has. We started a production company and. We're just putting together a few movies that, are going to be really fan-friendly because of who Michael is. And the way we're setting up these movies is kind of around who he is as a fan favorite. And I don't think we ever thought, or you ever thought, that you would be utilizing that in that fashion. But if you think about it, they're going to be sort of genre pieces that are geared toward your fans, kind of like The Victim.
Yeah, well, you know what? The thing that was great about The Victim was that when I went to the people... I got such a small amount of money to make the movie. I said, okay, well, I'll make the movie, but I have to be making all the choices, all the creative control. All I get to write it, I get to cut it, I decide how long it's going to be, who's going to cast, when we're going to all the production control, and who we sell it to. So it's almost being like the head of the studio, And that's like a really fun place to be after years of listening to other people telling me what to do and sometimes trying to get them to change their mind about things. And so hopefully if we can continue to do these, I like working in this situation where I can say, this is my movie. Because when I look at The Victim, I'm talking about The Victim, it's like, that's my movie. And there are some things I would change. If I had more money, I would have done a few different things to it. But that's my movie through and through, And then the next one that I do will be too, And it's nice not to have other people tell you. I mean, Xavier Gens, who directed The Divide, did The Hitman for 20th Century Fox. Mm-hmm. They told him who to cast. They told him what the script was going to be, how long it was going to be, and
Then he did The Divide, and it was all him.
And he had a lot of problems with Fox, and it's fun to have the freedom to do what you want to do without somebody telling you who to cast, how long it's going to be, what the script is going to be,
I think there's certain people who can, deal with that, but you're a very creative spirit. Xavier Gens is a very creative spirit, and I think there's certain people who really need the freedom that independent filmmaking gives them on all levels. There's big independent films, and then there's little ones like ours. So.
It must be nice to know that you've got to that stage in your career where you can just say, let's do this, let's get together and shoot this movie. How does it feel to be at that point in your career where you can do that?
It's great. I mean, it was really important that this first one turned out well, mm-hmm. and it did. And so, I mean, if the first one would have been a clunker, I probably wouldn't have had another chance. But now I think I'm going to have the chance to do more. And
we're having people approach us now going we like your style. We like the way you kind of... First people kind of saw what we were doing and were like, oh my God, what are you doing? And then those very same people are now approaching us constantly to kind of get on that bandwagon of these tiny little genre films and kind of going, I kind of like this idea, and I like this idea of touring with it. And, they want to be a part of it, and that's exciting for us.